Hi everyone, welcome back to the ThreatInsight YouTube channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's becoming more and more critical for modern organizations, brand risk tracking. And to unpack this properly, I've brought in someone who lives, breathes in this world every day, Dr. Gnis Petersen. He's also the head of product development at ThreatInsight. Gnis, great to have you with us.
Thanks, Jan. Great to be here.
So let's start at the top. Brand risk tracking sounds serious and a bit intimidating. Why is it suddenly so essential for organizations today?
Well, Jan, we're living in a pretty unprecedented moment in history. A company's reputation can be affected not only by its own actions, but by the global events, movements, and narratives that is happening around it, even if it is not directly connected with it. At ThreatInsight, our research focuses on how openly available information, the same data that anybody can get hold of and can access, can be used by malicious actors to distort a narrative or target an organization.
So, what you're saying is that the risk doesn't even have to come from something the company actually did.
Exactly. It's often entirely external, and because the information is publicly available, anyone with the right motivation or the wrong motivation can twist it to fit themselves.
So, you often talk about a disruption landscape. What does that actually look like?
It's basically a map of the type of threat actors who creates pressure on organizations. We typically divide this into four groups. There's the community groups. They're informal. There's no big funding behind them. It's just people upset about local issues, and your organization might simply be in this in their sphere.
Walk into the environment.
That absolutely, and then suddenly you become a target. Then you've got environmental and social political movements driven by ideological or ethical motivations, and there's often a lot of funding behind them. And then obviously political groups, they are well structured, organized, agenda driven, and they often tie into much broader dynamics. Once again, lots of money behind them. And then lastly, the fourth one is activists. Now, those are individuals who build an entire public influence as a career. That's their job. This is the industry that they've chosen. They often amplify or coordinate the narratives of other groups to advance their particular exposures.
So these groups can overlap and influence each other as well.
Absolutely, Jan. And that's where the risk accelerates.
Can you give me a real world example of how these groups interact? Something that shows how quickly narratives can evolve.
Absolutely. If we take protest of one of our banking clients, so the banking client, he is a straightforward banking client. His purpose, his business model is to lend out money, not complicated. Uh, this is what banks do every single day. However, his actions were through a total distortion of the narrative linked back to the Israel Palestinian conflict.
That's quite a leap.
Yes, it is a leap, but maybe let me expand for you how they get to that. So this banking client lends out money. He finances a mine in Mpumalanga. The mine, its purpose is to mine coal. It mines the coal. It ships the coal to Israel. Israel uses the coal in its electricity production. The electricity that is produced provides energy for a factory that manufactures arms and ammunition. And the arms and ammunition that is manufactured there is used in the Israeli Palestinian conflict. Therefore, the South African bank is part and parcel, part of across that entire value chain, part and parcel of the war crimes being committed by Israel in Palestine. So that is a That is multiple arm lengths away, yet it has a very clear impact on the brand reputation of our client.
Wow. That even in that indirect association becomes a full blown narrative that you're going to struggle to manage.
Absolutely, exactly. And that's why organizations need to proactively track the narratives and how they evolve long before they spill over into the public domain.
Let's talk about what ThreatInsight actually does with this information. How do we help organizations navigate this difficult landscape?
So, yeah, we start off by monitoring political, social, economic, technology, environmental, legal risk, the full pestle spectrum. Large corporations are familiar with pestle as a form of identifying strategic risk, and that is where across all of these actor groups we track the information. We look at how these risks might affect the company's reputation, its staff, its clients, its operational environment, infrastructure. Absolutely. On the operational side, we also evaluate the staff and client safety, the infrastructure's vulnerabilities, and the likelihood of protests escalating. Then we guide our client with advisory support, crisis response planning, and logistical readiness.
So it's not just tracking the narrative, but helping organizations prepare for the real world impact.
Absolutely. Tracking is our only our first step. Preparing our clients is the second step, and then responding effectively is the third step.
Goodness, this has been incredibly interesting and eye opening. It's clear that brand risk tracking isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's essential for your large organizations.
Thank you very much, Jan. It's been great to discussing this topic with you, and I hope organizations realize that protecting the reputation today requires an understanding of a much bigger picture as never before. And understanding where, what information is available, what they are posting out there, and how it can be twisted potentially, and be ready for that.
And for everyone watching, if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop your questions for Genis in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
To learn how our service can be tailored to your organization's needs, whether protecting credentials, intellectual property, or reputation, please visit our website or contact our team to arrange a demonstration or consultation. Contact us today and let us help you stay vigilant, informed, and protect what matters most with intelligence that clarifies, empowers, and protects.